Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, angelic astrologer and spiritual consultant from angelmessenger.net, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, May 5th through Sunday, May 11th, 2014. So we're entering this week, again, still coming off of the Cardinal Grand Cross of April. That's starting to pull apart, but we're starting to see a lot of the aftermath of what the strong energies in April brought to us. And I've been guided by Spirit to make another Soul Reflections video, and I'm just waiting for them to tell me the exact time to make it, although I'm getting the information that I may be making this today, maybe shortly after I make this weekly angel card reading video. So I just want to check in with everybody and see how everybody is doing from April's lunar and solar eclipses, and again from that Cardinal Grand Cross and all of the transformational energies that occurred last month. So look for that Soul Reflections video very soon as I update you on what the energies are all about this month and how we've been affected from last month's energies. Now this week we actually have Mercury, the planet of communication, ideas, and thought processes, moving from one sign to another. It's leaving the sign of Taurus this week, and it's going to be moving into the sign of Gemini, and that's going to happen on Wednesday, May 7th. Now, while Mercury has been in Taurus, it is much more methodical and much more cautious in its approach to communication. You know, it definitely takes its time to think things through as far as their thoughts and their ideas before moving forward. Now, as Mercury is going into the sign of Gemini, there's going to be a really different flavor of the energy here, because Gemini is much more mutable and changeable, and actually Gemini is very idea oriented. So you're going to find that you're going to have a lot more inspirational types of ideas and many ideas coming in after Wednesday the 7th of May, as Mercury travels through the sign of Gemini over the next few days. And you know, again, Mercury and Gemini is very changeable, so you're gonna be finding that maybe ideas will come in, maybe they will leave. Actually, communication will be a lot more, I want to say, forthright, rather than Taurus deliberating, you know, before it communicates. Gemini just kind of spurts things out. It kind of, you know, it just spits things out and tells people like it is. Whatever comes to their mind is kind of what they speak. So communication matters in some ways, maybe a little bit easier. On the other hand, you might find people saying things before they think things through. So just so that you know what that astrological transit is all about. And then as we move towards the weekend on the 10th and the 11th, there's a few different things going on astrologically. The Sun, which is still in Taurus, is going to be opposing Saturn and Scorpio on Saturday. And I think that's going to bring up some karmic issues regarding our sense of values, regarding our finances. This is going to be like my resources, my finances versus others, my values versus others, my sense of power versus others, my sense of individuality. And again, some karmic situations, karmic tests maybe, regarding these different areas. As we move into Sunday, Venus, the planet that rules love and relationships and the feminine principle, is in Aries, which she just went into Aries last week. And I really feel like Venus here, although she's not as comfortable in the sign of Aries, she's going to be strong in Aries. And what I feel from that in general is that women are going to be much more independent. They're going to feel much stronger. They're going to have to take a stand. They're going to have to think about themselves. And here on Sunday, Venus in Aries is opposing Mars in Libra. So we're going to have some relationship things going on Sunday. And you might even feel them as early as Saturday. There's a lot of astrological aspects that are happening on Sunday, with the moon in Libra, setting off that Cardinal Grand Cross, which is pulling apart. But with Venus opposing Mars on the same day, again, you're going to find that some relationship matters are highlighted. And on the same day, we have Mercury in Gemini, as it is in a challenging aspect, what we call a square aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Now, Neptune can be sometimes dealing with confusion and illusion, although it does deal with spirituality as well and our spiritual connection to universe and all that is. But I feel with Mercury and Gemini, the planet of communication, in a challenging aspect to Neptune, you're going to find that communications are a little bit more confusing, maybe a little bit more muddled, and maybe people aren't speaking their total truth on that day. And again, with Sunday's aspects dealing with relationship matters, just to be aware that if there's important communication going on over the weekend, especially regarding relationship matters, you'll want to make sure that you hear clearly what's being said and that you say clearly what you mean. So just to give you a little bit of heads up. Now this week, our 3 stones of choice for our extra special message card is blue lace agate. So we have this beautiful slab here of the blue lace agate. Your second stone of choice is zebra stone. Here's a zebra stone here. And your third stone of choice is green calcite. I always just really like the calcite. It's got a really nice feeling to that, to the calcite. But anyway, blue lace agate, zebra stone, and green calcite are your stones of choice for your extra special message card. Now, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for the main message for everybody for this week. But for the extra special message card, I decided to pull out a different deck. The angels and spirit guided me as I was talking about Venus moving into Aries last week, and that kind of bringing the divine feminine principle into a stronger, more independent, more courageous, self-sufficient kind of stand. I felt that Spirit was guiding me to use the Goddess Oracle deck. And this Goddess Oracle deck I don't think I've used before, but it's by Amy Sophia Marashinsky. Okay, so that's going to be your extra special message card this week. So let's take a moment as we're shuffling the Angel Tarot card deck. We're going to call in all of our angels, the archangels, our guides, master guides, and teachers of the light. We call in the goddess energy. We call in the ascended masters. All of those of the highest vibration of light to provide us with whatever messages, wisdom, and knowledge is in our highest and best interest to know for this week. Okay. So this is going to be our first card for the week. This is our second card. Let's see what third card. This one wants to come out right here. So this is going to be the third card for the week. Let's take a look and see what the message is. The first card is the Seven of Air. And the Seven of Air says, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. Now, I'm right away drawn to the number 7 here because the 7, numerologically speaking, deals with pulling back our energies. It deals with going within to connect with our higher soul self. And with the air card, it's all about communication matters, you know, the mental plane. And so I really feel like here we're talking about, again, pulling back our energies, going within ourselves to kind of contemplate the different ideas, the different thoughts that we have. And actually, to me, the angels are speaking of negative self-talk and negative self-thinking. So in other words, some of the communication that you have within your own head that is very stifling, you know, that is your ego mind, basically. That's what the angels are talking about here, is that you're going to be dealing with some ego mind talk, some negative self-talk, and you're going to have to kind of pull within yourself and you know, try to find out what the source of all that is about. You know, what are we dealing with here when it comes to some of these negative self-talking challenges. So let's get some more information and see what else we can say about the energy for this week. Oh, this is really going to be a mental week, which is interesting because Mercury is going into Gemini this week, which again is a very mental sign. Here we have the Two of Air, so another card that deals with the mental realm. And the message here says, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending that there is no problem. So here, to continue with the message of the Seven of Air, we have the Two of Air here, and I really feel like we're feeling kind of stuck in our thinking patterns. Sometimes this means, because it's the Two of Air and we have two unicorns here that are kind of locking horns, is that in relationship matters, not just romantic relationship matters, but any one-on-one relationship that's really important in your life. So it could be family, could be friends, could even be, work relationships, that we're kind of at an impasse here. We're not able to make an appropriate or clear kind of decision or direction with where we want to go. Also, though, I feel like not just with other people, but I do feel like with just yourself, again, with that Seven of Air to lead us out for the week, that we're talking about, not being able to be clear within our own mind as far as, what the next step is that we want to take regarding maybe relationship matters, career matters, projects, what we want to do for ourselves as far as moving forward in our lives. We've had a lot of intense energies, and those intense energies last month really kind of broke things up. It revealed patterns. It kind of got us out of some stuck places that we might have been in within relationships or career, job, family, whatever it might have been. And now we're kind of, again, dealing with the aftermath. And I feel like there's a lot of confusing energies that are going on within people's own minds, as far as, well, geez, this has all happened. Now what do I do? Now what am I supposed to do? Now what steps am I supposed to take? Where do I go next? And, so far, here we have a couple of cards that is suggesting that we need to balance ourselves. This card is about balance, too. So we need to balance our mental thought processes, and I'll even say our emotions, even though the emotions haven't shown themselves yet. But we need to balance ourselves in all way before we're going to be able to get a clear idea of what decisions we might need to make for ourselves as we move forward in life. Let's take a look at the last card and see what the last card is, so we can kind of wind up the clarity of the message here. Okay, so here we have the Ten of Water. And this is an emotional card here, one that deals with feelings and emotions. But this is a really, really good card. And the Ten of Water says, a contented and rewarding family life, your emotional and material needs are met, and trustworthy relationships. So interesting that we have this wonderful positive, outcome card for the week, when earlier in the week we're dealing with a lot of mental unsuredness or confusion or a negative self-talk or not being able to make a decision. So what this is telling me is that throughout the week, that through balancing your mind, through balancing those energies, coming to center, and of course meditation is always a really good way to balance, or get it out in nature too. Nature is a great way to help us to ground and help us to balance our energies. And I feel like during the course of the week, you're going to be able to do just that. You're going to be able to balance out those mental energies enough to be able to make those clear decisions for yourself that's going to bring you closer to this wonderful emotional place, this place where you feel joy, you feel happiness, you feel contentment, you feel that all of your emotional needs are met. In other words, this is bringing emotional security. And actually, the angels are kind of directing me and saying that that's the other side of this message too. It's not just that we're going to balance our thought processes enough to bring us here, but we have to think about what decisions can we make that will bring us here. In other words, what decisions mentally, as we try to wade through these confusing thought processes and these decisions that are very confusing, and we don't know which path to take, which road to go down. And the angels are saying, think about what's going to bring you this. What is going to bring you emotional security and stability? What's going to bring you joy and happiness and a feeling of contentment? Now, this can be different for different people. I mean, in relationship matters, it may still be difficult to make the appropriate decision for you, but which decision is going to bring you emotional happiness and a feeling of peace and a feeling of being loved and a feeling of, again, emotional security and taking care of your emotional needs. And, we do have to have compassion for others, as far as where they're at and what they're going through. So, we definitely want to, in our communications with people, take their feelings into account as well, but don't negate your feelings. Don't negate what you desire and what you need, whether it be, again, in romantic relationship matters or even career matters, family matters. What's going to bring you these wonderful feelings of love and peace that you deserve? So let's see what the special message is depending on what stone of choice you chose for the week. Okay, so let me I've already kind of shuffled these and asked for guidance, and we're going to ask for those people that chose the blue lace agate what their special message is. And here we have Sulis. This is the goddess's name, is Sulis, and it says illness/wellness, okay? And we have an image here of a goddess as she's reaching her hands up to the light. It could be a sun or it could be a star, but it's definitely this very bright light up here as she's kind of opening her arms up to this light. And I feel like the message here, illness, wellness, is really in regards to your state of beingness, physically, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. In regards to, the thought processes that you're going through, the communications that you might be needing to have with other people or with yourself, and your sense of even emotional wellness here is that I feel like some of you may actually be dealing with physical imbalances. And these physical imbalances, whether they be health related on a physical level or energetically related, because we're going through so many universal energy redirections, that with some of the confusion that you're going through, with some of the situations and circumstances that you're in right now, where you have to make, considerations, and you have to make a decision on where you're going to go next or what you're going to do next that's in your highest and best interest, that it is relating to your sense of physical well-being too, okay? So in other words, those of you out there that are dealing with physical symptoms, realize that these physical symptoms are because you're emotionally out of balance, or you're mentally out of balance, or your life is spiritually out of balance. And, not being on your proper path, not being in the right place or a centered place for you, and taking the steps that you need to gain the correct direction that's going to be best for you, is causing some of these feelings of illness or physical imbalance. And here, to get on the right path, to get on the path of wellness, body, mind, and spirit, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, is you need to Again, make the appropriate decisions. You know, again, I'm drawn to the two of air here. Make the appropriate decisions within yourself as far as what you need to do to bring yourself to this place of emotional joy and peace and contentment. Okay, for those of you that chose the zebra stone, the zebra stone message is, this says, I'm just looking because I'm not sure if I can pronounce the goddess's name. It says Kotlik. It's Coatlicue. You might want to look that up on the internet and find out more about this goddess. I've never heard of this goddess. But Kotlik's message says grief. And again, this is kind of, you know, a similar message to the previous goddess card, is that we have a goddess here, and she's holding, you know, a lot of this reminds me of Egyptian kind of pictures and whatnot. It actually looks like there's a lot of snakes down here, and to me snakes are always about transformation. And she's wearing this wonderful colorful headdress up here too. And I feel like this is coming out of her crown chakra. So here we're dealing with transformation at a base core level. And we're dealing with transformation and regeneration on a higher spiritual level. And she's also holding this symbol. It's like a ball of light, but it's got some symbology in it. And I feel like this whole message about grief is that you are actually releasing on an energetic level a lot of energies. So again, we kind of have this you know, health and wellness kind of feeling. But here I feel like the message is more towards energetic purging. I feel like you're definitely going through an energetic transformation and an energetic purging of old sorrow, grief, and sadness energies. So, you know, and here again, she's, you know, going through this very peaceful, tranquil transformation. And I feel like even with her expression here, she's got her eyes closed, she's kind of looking almost, I feel like she's looking inward, you know, and here she's looking inward to release and let go, purge and purify what no longer serves her highest and best interest, as she's holding this symbol of light, which is a symbol of where she wants to, you know, transform to, where she wants to get to. So this week you're dealing with, again, that energetic purging and releasing of all that no longer serves your best and highest interest. And then for those of you that chose the green calcite, let's see, the green calcite people, this card is Hathor, the goddess Hathor, and it says pleasure. And she even has, you know, she's got like these angel types of wings. She's also, though, has these horns on her head and a moon, kind of a full moon in between the horns, which is very interesting symbology. And I feel like we're dealing with balance here as I look at this. Again, between the angel wings and the horns on her head, I feel like this is dealing with balance of the earthly and the spiritual. You know, we're dealing with pleasure, and you know, we're here to experience love and peace and pleasure. You know, we're here to experience feelings of contentment. And she's actually, as I'm looking here more closely, she's holding, it's like feathers, but it's feathers of light. It's like these feathers are drooping down from her hands, but within her hands is this very bright, brilliant white light. So I feel like there's a gentleness here. I feel like there is a beauty here. I feel like there's a peacefulness here. And there is a need to experience, again, the pleasures of life. So this week, I feel like your message is about going out and experiencing, you know, that happiness and pleasure. What brings you pleasure? What brings you joy? What brings you a sense of peace? What, you know, how can you balance the earthly and the spiritual? Because we are here on earth, you know, and being here on earth, we what must experience things on a third dimensional level, even as we're transmuting and transforming and raising our vibration to a higher spiritual level. But we have to enjoy the beauty here of life, and whether that beauty be of nature or the beauty be of experiencing other relationships or going on a trip somewhere and just experiencing, that pleasure that is all around you. That's what I feel is going to be of most benefit for you for this week. So I hope you liked this weekly angel card reading with the goddesses. If you would like to check out some of my personal services, please go on to angelmessenger.net. You'll find my page there, and you can see what I offer. And if there's any way I can help you in a more personal way, I would definitely love to do that. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, for your uplifting comments, for sharing these videos and supporting these videos. I love what I do, and I love helping you. I love helping other people, so I'm really, really grateful and thankful that these videos do help others. Until next week, or until you watch my Soul Reflections video, I wish you all much love and light, much beauty and much pleasure and much compassion. And experience joy as much as you can, because that's really what it's all about, is get in touch with your higher soul self, and within your higher soul self you connect with your spiritual self, and when you connect with your spiritual self, you connect with that part of you that is joy and peace and happiness, and that's really what we're here to experience. We're here to experience joy. So many, many blessings to all of you. Until next week, love and light.